Okay, so with current news going on, I am going to be speaking up on this, and it probably won't be the last time I'll speak up on it. But recently, in the past 2 or 3 days, there has been a few incidents with ICE agents, and there's a lot of people defending these ICE agents, killing people. Literally, people are being murdered by ICE agents, and people still do not see the issue. And I've talked about this before on my TikTok and everything, but I'm talking about it here in length because honestly, I'm tired of seeing all the bot comments being like, oh, well, she was protesting and she was getting in their way and she deserved it, and that poor ICE officer uh, has PTSD and uh, uh, he went to a hospital because he got run over. And then you clearly see the video, even from the angle that this guy had. Like, it was just released from the guy's angle. We see she was not in the way of anybody. She was actually trying to let people pass through. And when we see it from the guy's own video camera, phone video, she says, oh, I'm not mad at you. You're fine. And he called her a fucking bitch. And then he shot her. And now JD Vance is saying that ICE has total immunity in these cases. I know with some judges and stuff, they are trying to not let, that group of people win. It's still going to be hard to fight against this. And I've seen people say, oh, well, why don't you do something? Why don't you riot in the streets? Why don't you boycott everything? Why don't you stand up for yourselves? And it's like, did we forget what happened with World War II Germany? Like, they literally could not stop the fascism that they were enduring until other countries stepped in. So these people from other countries, if you are saying, oh, well, just stand up, fight for your rights, don't back down, then help us. I am honestly very tired of seeing other people from other countries do this. They're like, oh, you have your Second Amendment right? And all this other stuff. And then it's like, well, then help us. Like, please help us. You know what happened in the past, and yet you're doing this to us. I don't care what America, the country, has done to your country specifically. We are not all MAGA. I know I've seen people from other countries assume we are all MAGA and that we're okay with this. That's how MAGA is winning. And it happened in the past too, where people assumed that everybody in Germany was agreeing with what was happening because they were suppressing the media. But there is some people who are able to reach out to other countries and be like, hey, we have recordings that not all of us agree with what's going on and we want help. And then they're like, nah, we're not going to help. You got to do it yourself. I remember somebody saying this before in a video where it's basically the same as American citizens are the people like burning in a room. Like, the room is on fire. And yet there's people on the outside banging on the door saying, oh, but the bushes outside are burning too. And it's like, yes, we know the bushes outside are burning, but why don't you help us put out the fire in the room so that we could get to the bushes outside that are burning, so that we could stop that too? Or, like, they say, oh, stop talking about your domestic affairs. And it's like, what else are we supposed to do? We're living through this. People in other countries are seeing it like the outside looking in. They are only seeing what is able to either leak through or whatever our media is portraying. And it is so hard to just exist, especially for someone like me, because I am a trans man. And there's a current, quote unquote, law now where it says trans people are considered domestic terrorists. And I'm like, the heck did I do? I literally just stay at home all day playing Minecraft and stuff. Oh no, all of a sudden I want to bomb buildings and all this other stuff. No, that is not what's happening. It's just these people want to go after the group that is like not hurting anybody, because that's how history always is they go after minorities and the other so that they can have more control, because people are going to have more fear then. And it is such it's such a mess, and I want to like curse and scream about it, because I'm the type of person who, I guess if you were to see me in real life, I wouldn't show many emotions or voice my emotions because I'm autistic, so I have a hard time with that. But this sort of stuff really makes me so enraged, and I do not understand how, like, I'm not even going to say, like, how did we let it get this bad? It's been happening since the Reagan administration, way back when. That's when they started it. So it's been going on for decades at this point. Because this is what they want. They want fascism. They want that control because not only is it a mix of old ideals, but these people are part of a group that is dying out. We were progressing so much in so many ways as a society, and they didn't like that. So they're like, well, if I can't have it, then nobody can. And that is literally what's happening now. And it just angers me to see people be like, oh, well, you're overreacting and all this other stuff. And it's like, well, it's not an overreaction now, because it's like, even back then when I first started seeing this stuff happen, people were like, oh yeah, you're overreacting. It's not that bad. It's not going to happen. But then I actually listened to people who know the history and talk about this stuff already, even long before this administration happened. And it's like, how do people not see this? How do people want to be willfully ignorant when it's like this? And in my own personal life, like, I try to warn people in my own personal life that this is going on. But then I tell them and they're like, well, what are we supposed to do? I don't know, flipping prepare for the worst case scenario. And that's the thing too. It's like, I'd rather be informed than uninformed. Because, you know, with people like me, I know other people who are LGBT. And it's scary because I know if it were to come down to it, then they could also be harmed. And so they need to prepare. And I tell people, and they're like, well, we're too busy with work. We don't have time to care. And I'm like, that's the flipping point of why they make people work so much. And I just don't understand how it gets this bad. But I don't know. I've talked about this long enough for this. I may talk about it more in the future if there's any more updates on the Renee Good case or whatever. Just whatever goes on. I'm just so upset by it. And other people should be upset too.